I can pick Paladin on a clear conscience. And oh my god, I need to lower that volume. Wolf says, Wolf X95 says, call me Wolf. Excellent, I will do so. That is easiest at all. Alright, so we're starting off with a rare pick here as usual. Ravenholt Assassin is a playable card for sure, but it's a card I don't like to commit to early because it's really only good if it's one of your few big drops. If you end up having a high curve, the Ravenholt Assassin is a little bit weak. At the same time, Crazy Alchemist and Demolisher are sort of middle tier rares, and they are not super duper great. I'm going to go for the Assassin, and we're just going to try to commit to a sort of low curve deck. Here, we'll grab the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, because that has the potential to grow big. I really don't like Blessing of Wisdom. More often than not, when my opponents use it against me, it sucks. So, it's really not good enough, often enough for me to want to take it, and this is just a terrible taunter. So we'll take the Ghoul here. Consecration is a very important card to have for Paladins. I'll take that for certain. And here we go. I mean, the Bodefist Ogre is what I'd normally take. I don't like the idea of taking it here, though, because I have this Assassin. And the Worgen has been very good against me in recent games. I will take the Ogre instead anyway, though. Ogre plus Assassin is fine. It's just if it goes too much more than that into the upper curve, I'll be in trouble. All right. Wolf asks, I think I will enjoy you. You're quite active. Well, I'm really great. I'm really glad to hear that you have a positive first impression. Wolf also asks, are you a YouTuber? Yes, I am Papa Boris on YouTube. So let me type that into the chat. Papa Boris on YouTube. And you can see the link to that actually below the stream. I have a link to my channel there if you'd like to check out. I have a bajillion skillion arena runs. So there's lots to watch if you end up enjoying my style and want to see some more content. And that goes for anyone watching on YouTube who's seeing this as a highlight. This is a terrible pack. These are garbage cards, so I had to take Leper Gnome, although that isn't really my favorite card to take generally in the arena. Oh, geez. Oh, my goodness. So we have Noble Sacrifice, which I'm not a super big fan of, or Stormwind Champion, which would cause me to really be tipping my curve up pretty high. Granted, Stormwind Champion is pretty good for Paladins just because the recruits get buffed, but I'm actually going to pass them and take the Noble Sacrifice, crazy as that is, simply because I just don't want to have a super high curve here, and I'd rather have a crappy 1 mana than a 7 mana that might not get played. Alright, here we have a tough choice between Cult Master and Argent Protector. Cult Master can solve our card draw problems, but honestly I'm going to take the Argent Protector. Because Paladins have a tough time with removal, I think it's really important not to pass on the Divine Shield, which is basically the Paladin's equivalent of removal. Alright, here we'll take the Silverhand Knight. It's just a nice 5-drop. And, okay, Flesh-Eating Ghoul number 2 versus Raid Leader is the pick here. And I'm going to take the Raid Leader. It buffs the recruits, and it's nice to have some buffs. I haven't said this one in a long time, but bad buffs are better than no buffs. Alright, let's take a look at some chat comments, actually. Nat says, hi, Boris, plus chat. Hello, Nat. Good to see you. And Wolf says, Leper Gnome is his #1 pick from Commons. Leper Gnome is very, very aggressive, so if you're going for an aggressive deck, then certainly it's one of the top-tier cards you could hope for. I'm not sure that I'll be able to pull off a sufficiently aggressive deck here to justify that Gnome. Alright, so Siva said I found Papa Boris from a comment on an old Total Biscuit Lord of the Arena vid. Been pretty awesome. I'm really glad to hear that you found me. I do need to advertise a little bit better. I have had some kind viewers who advertise for me on other people's channels, but I've got to get out there a little bit more. I feel like if I got out there, people would enjoy it. So here we have a tough pick between Sea Giant and Lay on Hands. So Sea Giant is okay with Paladins because as you're putting recruits onto the field with your hero ability, it can make the Sea Giant cheaper. And Lay on Hands, the temptation here is I don't have any card draw, so if I have Lay on Hands in the deck, that is like a nice ace up my sleeve if I ever get into a top deck war. Still though, I'm not going to pass on Sea Giant. It'll usually be less than 8 mana, and it's just a pretty strong card. Wow, this deck, this draft just keeps wanting to give me high curve cards after throwing a turn 1 Ravenholt Assassin my way, which is unfortunate. But we'll go ahead and grab Silvermoon Guardian here. It's just a 4-drop, and I want to keep things small. Alright, again, with the high curve, let's try to avoid that and take Blessing of Kings instead. One of those is nice to have. Dark Iron Dwarf versus the Farseer is tricky. I'm going to go a little bit out of character here. I think Another Day in Another Life, I would have taken a Dark Iron Dwarf. But here we'll take the Farseer. It's more on curve. And I do want to make sure I have some healing if I passed the, what's-his-face? Justice, Guardian of Kings. Okay, Wind Fury Harpy is similar to Ravenholt Assassin in that it's good if it's like your only endgame drop, or one of very few, but it's not so great the higher your curve is. However, it's either this or Humility, and I don't really want to take Humility, so we will take the Harpy here. The Elven Archer, by the way, of course, is just garbage on a stick. Blessing of Kings number 2 versus the Yeti. I think we'll take the Yeti. The Yeti's a very strong card. And now you might be noticing we've got a problem with 2-drops, in that we have none except for Argent Protector. So I will pretty much be taking, as we're halfway through the draft, pretty much every 2-drop that comes my way. Well, Equality is the pick here, goes with Consecration, and it helps with my recruits in a pinch. We have, again, the Farseer versus the Dwarf. I guess we'll take the Dwarf this time. Alright, taking the Ooze, because it's the only playable card here, and it's because it's a 2-drop. True Silver Champion over these are pretty good drops, but I will take the True Silver Champion because I don't have any of those yet. The only playable card here is a 6-drop, sadly, so that's unfortunate. Oh my gosh, this draft just does not want to give me 2-drops. I haven't had any of them. I'm gonna actually take Scarlet Crusader over a second True Silver, which I know is crazy, but I need to get early plays here or else I'm just gonna lose. Peacekeeper is mostly unpassable. I will take any 2-drop I see. Any 2-drop I see. I'm taking 3-drops, but that's not quite as good. Okay, this is not exactly a 2-drop. I've seen so many Holy Lights and Eye for an Eyes. This is actually just a disastrously bad deck. Magma Rager. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna grab Blessing of Wisdom here. That's basically a card cycle. Dread Corsair, and I'm just gonna hope I get it with my 1 True Silver Champion to get it for free. Can I get a single 2-drop? I am in just staggered disbelief by what is going on in this draft. And we're ending with this. Boy. Oh my god. I think this is actually one of the worst drafts I've ever had. Ever. And in my last video, which if you're watching on YouTube, I highly recommend you check out the last few videos I did. There was a really good Paladin, Mage, and Shaman run, all kind of in a row. I was actually mentioning that I've been pretty lucky getting quality cards in my drafts, and this is one where it's like all the karma just kind of piled up into one ball and just hit me in the face. So we all agree in the chat here, this is a pretty unfortunate draft, but you know, that's its own kind of challenge. We'll see how well we can do with this. It'll take, obviously, a lot of luck to do well. I will keep the Eldor Peacekeeper as a 3-drop. And as a Paladin, you know, sometimes you can kind of get away with not having 2-drops because your hero ability at least puts a body on the table. So we'll see if that can get me by. I will also see if, the more often that I am second, the better off I'll be, because I have a lot of 3-drops in this deck. So if I'm second, it's pretty likely that I'll be able to put 3-drops out. And, you know, with the coin. So, I have been reminded I need to delete the text on the screen. Thank you for that reminder. I frequently forget. Let's pass the turn there. Rocky Logo says, I am eager to see how your amazing skill can compensate for that crappy draft. Well, we might just see a really bad run. You never know. It could really just be very terrible here. I'm not going to make a recruit as a paladin. You have to fight for board control, so I'm more or less wasting the battle cry either of the Peacekeeper or of the Farseer. I'm going to waste the battle cry of the Farseer. Kind of wish this were a Raging Worgen. This could have been a Dark Iron Dwarf. It might be the guy that was almost the Dark Iron... Oh, well, yeah, that could have been a Dark Iron Dwarf, which would have been much worse for me, so it's a good thing I stayed on curve and took the 3-drop. Dark Fate says, this is one of my worst drafts ever, in quotation marks, so he'll go 12-2 with it. No, I really don't think so. I don't think this is going to go to 10-12. Wolf asks, I kind of wonder, I don't play Hearthstone because it bores me, but I still watch streams. Why do I do that? Well, I actually do that too, not for Hearthstone, but for other games. Like for Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2, like I really like to watch the streams, but I don't play the game itself at all. We're going to play Raid Leader, which will let me kill his stupid monkey. It does mean, of course, that the Crocolisk now kills the Raid Leader, but then the Farseer kills the Crocolisk, so it all kind of balances out. It was a 2-for-2. Rocky Logo says, really, Arena's not boring to me at all, always something weird happening. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I've had some friends who tell me they really love Hearthstone and they played a ton, but I've also had friends who told me that they kind of got bored of Hearthstone quickly and hope that I will do other games on YouTube because they're tired of Hearthstone. So it really varies quite a bit, people's enjoyment of Hearthstone or whether they get bored with it or not. My opponent has the Eagle Horn Bow, which is really unfortunate, so now what he can do is he can actually kill the Raid Leader with his Crocolisk, use the bow to kill my Farseer. He takes a completely unnecessary extra point of damage, though, by hitting the Farseer before killing the Raid Leader. He leaves the Raid Leader alive! Oh my gosh, that's a mistake. Folks, don't let Paladins keep creatures. How many times does it need to be told? So, here, I can actually play the Peacekeeper to humiliate the Crocolisk to stop it from killing the Raid Leader if he comes to his senses. I could also play the Dread Corsair. Then his bow will kill the Corsair, and then this guy can still kill the Crocolisk. Or I could just play the Yeti. I'm going to play the Yeti here, Because the Yeti survives against the Crocolisk, and now I guess the reason he didn't kill the raid leader with the Croc is because he wanted to kill the raid leader with his bow. But he'll pay for that because now the Crocolisk is almost certainly going to die to the Yeti, unless he has a deadly shot here. Alright, so we've got we have all of our big drops. You can see this is the problem. This is why I keep saying Ravenholt Assassin is not good unless it's like the only top card. I have a hand with a lot of really expensive stuff here, so it's going to be really difficult for me to keep board control enough to make Ravenholt Assassin playable. Well, he had Kill Command. That's another 3-mana card that was let him kill my Yeti. He plays a Secret, so when the Secret is revealed, he'll get another charge on the bow. He should really kill the raid leader here. I don't know why he wouldn't. And he's going to leave the raid leader alive, so he's just going for broke. Alright, I'm not going to attack into that trap because that trap is almost certainly an explosive trap. I could either play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul and a reinforcement, or just a Dread Corsair. Well, the Flesh-Eating Ghoul and the reinforcement put more on the board, but then that opens me up to Unleash the Hounds. This, however, just dies to the Eaglehorn Bow. However, I am going to play this because this guy seems to want to get extra mileage out of this bow by the Secret, because he didn't use it to kill my raid leader here. So now, if he attacks into my Dread Corsair with the bow, then the Secret will not give an extra charge to the weapon. But if he doesn't attack, then that's great for me too. Oh, he's going to use the Crocolisk to kill my Dread Corsair. He's going to put this guy down in order to make the Wolf impossible to hit with my raid leader. He's actually not playing very well, but he has had good cards, and my deck is terrible. So he is getting away with murder here. Yep, he's just going to leave the bow. Alright. So the Peacekeeper doesn't do a whole lot for me here, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this opportunity to drop the Harpy. And we're going to pass the turn. Wolf says, come on guys, this chat needs to get more active. I'm playing League, but I still manage to type quite often. The thing is, I don't actually have that many people who watch me, so the chat is usually fairly quiet. But it's okay, I'll make up for it with my own commentary about how things are going. Dark Fate asks, where's the Stampeding Kodo when you need one? Yeah, not in this draft, unfortunately. Wolf asks, do I stream often? I stream once a week, but I am looking to increase the schedule to 2 or 3 times a week if possible. My opponent is just flooding the board. He's going to get a Cult Master, so now he will, it looks like, trade some stuff in. He put everything to the wrong side of the wolf, so actually this deck is, my deck is just so bad. Like, my opponent is playing very badly, but just by playing badly, he's still able to win. So he's going to win off of this Hyena and getting cards off the Cult Master. He actually ran the wolf in first. If he'd run the Warden in first, he could have actually, the Harpy would be dead right now. Oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Alright, he actually just passes the turn here. So what that suggests to me is that he has a freezing trap. I think if he had an explosive trap, he would have taken sure to kill my creatures. But with a freezing trap, he's got a little bit of protection. At least I have a Peacekeeper to humiliate the Hyena if it gets out of hand. But alright, let's go ahead and play Sea Giant. Well, hang on, I can play something else first. Let's make, if I do this, the Sea Giant would cost 3. Because we'll do a Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Now I can do this, the Sea Giant would cost 2. Alright, gotta be very careful. Play Sea Giant for 2. Okay. And we'll check for Freezing Trap with my Raid Leader. It's not Freezing Trap, okay. So it's most likely Explosive Trap. So what I'm going to do here is kill off the Cult Master. I'm more concerned right now about him drawing cards than I am about him growing the size of the Scavenging Hyena. So we'll pass the turn. This is not Snipe, it's not Snake Trap, it's not Freezing Trap, it's either Misdirection or Explosive Trap. Probably Explosive Trap, because that's the common. So I'm going to make sure that anything that has 2 health or less suicides before I attack into him. He got a couple of cards off the Cult Master. Dark Fate says, Rocket Logo said earlier, such bad play it hurts, and then Dark Fate said, indeed the opponent should be paying for all those mistakes by now, but the opponent could very well win. Drops a Core Hound, just such a terrible card, but it's actually, you know, my deck is so bad that it doesn't even matter how bad his cards are, he can just probably win regardless. However, I did get both Peacekeepers, so I have an answer to the Core Hound, which is good. He's going to Arcane Shot my Raid Leader, I'm guessing. Nope, he's going to Arcane Shot the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, and 2 for 1 himself. That'll grow the Hyena. Wolf says, this Hunter is really bad, yes, and I'm struggling ferociously against him. He will hit me in the face for 6. Okay. So, what do we do here? I could actually kill this core hound without using a peacekeeper, but I think what I want to do is this. I'm gonna play a peacekeeper on the core hound. I'm not gonna kill the core hound yet because that would grow the scavenging hyena. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the dark iron dwarf, buff the recruit to kill the hyena. Then I'm going to kill this core hound. And then I'm going to run the raid leader in. Now, I know that that's explosive trap, and I know that gives him an extra charge on his bow, but I think it's worth it to clear the trap. Don't get into staring contests with hunters, is the moral of the story. So he got an extra charge on the bow that will let him kill both of these minions, but that'll take 7 damage, and then this will hit him for 8, so he's got to be in a little bit of trouble. Animal Companion, he got the Leok, which is probably the worst one that he could have hoped to get. A Charging Pig or the Taunter would have both been better. Bloodcell Corsair. So finally we see a bad card come out of this opponent's hand. He's going to hit my Dark Iron. No, he's going to hit me in the face. Okay, so he's going for the burn, which actually is the correct play. It is the correct play because the only way that he could possibly hope to win right here is by burning me out. Now, can I win? We got 8, 11, 15 damage. No, I definitely can't come even close to winning. So we're going to trade off his creatures. We're going to kill this. We'll kill that. I'm going to hit him in the face. And what I want to do here is put as much power as I can on the board. I can get 7, 8 power here versus, well, this would be a waste of the battle cry, versus 4. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just do the recruit and then the Ravenhold Assassin. If you're wondering why I did it this way, I want to put the recruit in the middle so that if he explosive shots my Sea Giant, the Ravenhold Assassin doesn't get damaged and then die to the Eagle Horn Bow. Then again, if this hits him twice with the bow, he'll take the damage from the Assassin anyway. Alright, anyway, I think we actually are going to win this game. So he got me down to 6, but he top-decked a Buzzard. So, that's that. Fidelius says, hey, Boris. Hello, Fidelius. Good to see you. Man, we got a pretty boisterous group here. Thank you all for coming out. It's really, really great seeing you. I was worried doing this stream on Friday that everybody would just be working. But glad to see that so many of you made it out here. He concedes. I somehow missed the chance to say well played, but he probably didn't deserve a well played. But that's okay. It's okay to be bad at Hearthstone. There's no problem being bad at Hearthstone. I was bad at Hearthstone once, and we got better. Rocky Logo says, value Buzzard. Yeah, no joke. So we got a bit of a free win against that hunter. He played miserably badly. Here we are against a warrior. I think this is generally a favorable matchup for Paladin, though I have lost it many a time. I'm going to get to live the dream here. I'm going to be mulliganing a 1-drop. That's something you just love to do, but neither... Well, warriors don't have any secrets. I've got a Noble Sacrifice in here. Okay, we're going to go for it. We're going to keep the Secret Keeper. A 1-2 is really, really, really bad, but I just don't think I can afford to mulligan it. And there is a chance that this will kill something, like a Novice Engineer or a Leper Gnome or whatever. The problem with 1-2s is that either a 2-3 or a 3-2 kills him, so like pretty much anything kills him, and that's where you get some issues. Solsiva is actually working from home, and that is how they're able to watch my stream. I also am a person who works from home for my day job. It is quite nice, although it's sort of like a blessing and a curse, because if, you know, you work from home and you are lazy, then you end up having to finish up all your work at really odd hours. I do not remember the last time I actually played an ooze and destroyed a weapon with it. That was very helpful, however, getting rid of his Fiery War Axe. He's going to slam this, which is actually really good. I'm happy to see that. It's important not to be upset when people kill your minions in some cases, because that means the slam's not hitting something big later on and drawing him a card. Blue Elf Thunder says, hello everyone. Hello, Blue Elf Thunder. Glad to see you. Dark Fate asks, what were the other options that you took a Secret Keeper? It was like Secret Keeper, Alarmobot, and I think a Murloc of some sort. I don't remember exactly, but it was, or like it might have been the pirate that destroys a weapon durability. I think that was it. I think it was like the weapon durability destroying pirate, the Secret Keeper, or the Alarmobot. It was pretty great. Rocky Logo says Secret Keeper has value taking a charge out of axe. Haha. Yeah, no kidding. Alright, so here we're going to think very carefully. I could play the Dread Corsair to stop my Scarlet Crusader from getting killed off by the Imp, or I could play the Stormwind Knight to just kill off the Imp Master, let the Scarlet Crusader die. We're gonna go for big here. Gonna go big or go home. We're gonna take a bunch of damage out of the Imp Master. Got this Taunter protecting my 1/1. Of course, warriors can, you know, Fiery War Axe or Core Chronolite or whatever to kill this. But if he doesn't have removal for it or a silence, then he can mop up one of the imps, and the Stormwind Knight next turn can mop up the other one and protect my Scarlet Crusader. Blue Elf Thunder says, wow, Secret Keeper for Paladin. Well, the good, I took a Noble Sacrifice at some point in this draft because it was going that badly. And basically, my first pick of this draft was Ravenholt Assassin. So I was hoping that the rest of the draft would be low curve, and I saw like no 2-drops ever. And that was a problem. So he actually gets a discount Arcane Intellect. He gets a second Fiery War Axe, so he will get to kill my Secret Keeper, unfortunately. Oh boy, this is not going well. People who have decent decks and know how to actually play the game are very terrifying for me right now. Stormwind Knight, let's mop up this imp. So what's the story? He has 6 cards and a weapon. I have 4, soon to be 5 cards. I am the first player, though. If I can get some recruits on the table, I can catch up a bit. Rocky Logo says, the draft was really unfortunate in general. Yeah, it really just was. He actually has Upgrade and a Yeti. Wow, that's a pretty good turn 5. So this 7-drop is terrible. I really would drop it here if it were like a Boulder Fist Ogre, but as it is, I can't. Sea Giant. Okay, thanks. Thanks, game, for that Sea Giant. This could have been a Lay on Hands, which honestly wouldn't be any better. There's some confusion in the chat about the Corsairs. Yes, Bloodsail Corsairs is the 1/2 that destroys the durability of a weapon. Dread Corsair is the one that's discounted. It's a 3/3 for 4 with taunts. It's discounted by 1 for every point of weapon damage that you have. That one's playable, and I like it for Paladins. Even though it's not always likely to get the True Silver Dread Corsair combo, it's worth having. I've had pretty good luck with it. And Dark Fate says, my bad, all of them Corsairs, can't keep track. Yeah, it is pretty tricky. Wolf Rider, not the greatest here, but it will allow my opponent to kill the Silver Moon Guardian, I guess, if he wants. Sea Giant is playable now. Fidelia says, I never know whether to feel good or bad when I take a battery and a deck to 6 or 7 wins. I'd feel good if I were you. That's an achievement. Alright, what we're going to do here is make a recruit. That'll make the Sea Giant cost 5. Now you might say, Boris, why are you making recruits? That just gives him more cards off the Acolyte. That's true. It does. I probably shouldn't have made the recruit there. I probably should have just played Sea Giant. Yeah, well, that was a mistake. I should have, I got carried away putting as many minions on the board as possible, but I should have just played Sea Giant. I really shouldn't be giving him any extra cards. That was silly. Alright, so the next turn, I hope to kill the Yeti and heal it with the Farseer. Or heal the Giant with the Farseer. That would be the plan. Dark Fate says, my son asked me what the worst Hearthstone card was. I told him I'd probably pick Bloodsail Corsair. Ooh, that's a really interesting question. What is the worst Hearthstone card? Well, Alarmabot leaps to mind, but there are decks that can be built around Alarmabot, whereas Bloodsail Corsair is just like, yeah, that's just total trash that you like never play anywhere under any circumstances. Okay, we're gonna go big or go home here. My opponent hit a Sea Giant with a weapon, so I'm gonna play Ravenholt Assassin. Now, if he doesn't play a taunt here, next turn we'll play Reckless Rocketeer and Raid Leader. That's 14 damage, which is actually 1 shy of killing him, even if he doesn't armor up. But then I've got the 7/5 on the board that's going to be difficult for him to kill. This doesn't make any difference. Does he have a... Oh, I was going to say, does he have a Defender of Argus? And he does. Well, that just wins him the game. There's no way that I can get back from this. I don't have any silences because I didn't see any. I don't have any removal. I don't have any way of getting past all this stuff. Oh my god, Defender of Argus. I actually could potentially have hilariously won this game if it weren't for Defender of Argus. Ball sacks. Well, we'll do this. We will heal my guy up. He's got this to flush out the Noble Sacrifice, unfortunately. But I'm gonna put crap on the board anyway. Oh my god. Defender, man, if there's just one time in my life where I could have had somebody not have a Defender of Argus, that would have definitely been the time. So now, oh, he can use his axe to flush out the Noble Sacrifice. That does take 2 damage though, so he's got to be a little bit careful about doing that. Sylvanas, really? Sylvanas. You had to have Sylvanas as well? Ah, jeez. Okay. So what he can do here is he can definitely kill the Raid Leader off. That makes it harder for me to get past the Silver Moon Guardian because he's got the Divine Shield and the Taunt. And then I can't kill him with this Assassin. It's just not going to deal quite enough damage. So he flushes out Noble Sacrifice with the Defender of Argus. This guy definitely knows what he's doing. I think he's going to use the axe to actually kill the raid leader to protect the divine shield on this guardian. Although killing this might not be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, killing this would make sense. Then he'd have a 4/4 that I actually can't deal with at all, except for by throwing away the Reckless Rocketeer. Rocky Logo says that is his 4th weapon plus Sylvanas. Yeah, he has had a lot of weapons, but I actually could have won if he didn't have a Defender of Argus on top of weapons and upgrade. I could still win this game. If I get a True Silver Champion, and I can bust this thing down, hit smash for 8, Reckless Rocketeer, I think a True Silver Champion, I could actually still win this game. I can win this game if I get a True Silver Champion. I just need... Oh, he hits me in the face. That's ballsy. I wouldn't have done that. I got Consecration. That's good enough. So we pop the Divine Shield with that. We Consecrate to deal 2 damage to the troops. The Farseer, which she should have killed, is now around to kill the Silvermoon Guardian. We're gonna win the game, ladies and gentlemen. Reckless Rocketeer MVP. Okay, that guy actually had a really good deck. That guy had a pretty good deck, and he actually played really well. So I'm going to give a little bit of credit to my skill and a little bit of credit to luck for winning that game. But I think, despite playing the game very well the whole time, he made one critical blunder. He went for my face instead of killing my Farseer. He should have 100% killed my Farseer there, because that would have left me without a way to deal 3 damage to the Silvermoon Guardian on the board. I would have had only the Recruit sitting around for 1 damage versus the Farseer, which deals 3. So what he did meant that I only needed 1 damage to kill the Guardian, whereas if he kept the Recruit around and popped the Divine Shield, I would have needed 3 damage to kill it. Consecration wouldn't have been enough, and I actually wouldn't have won the game that turn. Dark Fate makes a good point in the chat. Even the worst cards have some synergy. It's hard to pick the one that's truly worst. So, okay, if we're ignoring synergy, I think the worst card has to be Alarmabot. Just straight up, just a terrible card. Because it can do so many bad things to you, and it's an 0/3 that can easily be killed. So I think that is the worst card if you're ignoring synergy. If you take into account synergy, it becomes much more difficult to tell which card is like truly the worst of the bunch. Am I going to play this Leper Gnome? I am actually. So you're wondering, Boris, why are you playing this Leper Gnome? Well, the reason is mages can always kill the Leper Gnome, so I might as well do it on turn 2. Where either it takes a bite out of the Mana Worm, or it forces her to Fire Blast us and not do anything else. Yeah, this is fine. So now she hits me with the Mana Worm. It's fine. Leper Gnome still did 2 damage to the face, and it cost her 2 mana. That's good enough. We're going to coin into the Worgen. Now I'm threatening to kill the Mana Worm. What she needs right here is a Frostbolt. It's pretty much, not the only, but like pretty much the only answer that would really effectively let her deal with the situation. Dark Fate says, okay, no synergy. Angry Chicken? I disagree. Angry Chicken's a 1/1 for 1 mana. Oh no, she has a Frostbolt, doesn't she? She has a Frostbolt, she has a Sorcerer's Apprentice, and a Frostbolt. God dippity damn it. Ah, such a good start. Mana Worm, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Frostbolt. That's just terrible for me. Well, we're going to play Farseer, whose Battle Cry is not wasted now. Some folks are saying Goldshire Footman. Man, the Goldshire Footman has taunt. I mean, that's not bad. Taunt's okay. Sometimes any taunt will do. Think of all the times when a shaman totem like stops you from winning the game, like the shaman taunt totem. Sometimes a little bit of taunt is all you need. So I'd say the Goldshire Footman's fair in my book. At least not a good card, but he's definitely not the worst card in all of Hearthstone. Angry Chicken is close. Angry Chicken, I think Angry Chicken is a 1/1 for 1, and that's better than an Alarmabot, in my opinion. I mean, clearly this is an argument that doesn't have any right or wrong answers, but that's my opinion, if we're not going for synergy. Now, if we are going for synergy, the Bloodsail Corsair is actually a pretty good choice. This is the 3rd Frostbolt, ladies and gentlemen. Frostbolt numero tres hits my face. Now I'm just going to get burned out. I've already used an Earthen Ring Farseer. It's pretty much it. Oh man, I can't even kill anything with the Stormwind Knights. I'm gonna hit it for 6 more. I'm down to 7 health. I actually have to Peacekeep this Mana Worm here because that's essentially healing me for 3, and it's worth it. And we're just gonna go ahead and put this guy down. Try to distract the opponent as much as I can. Really, the friggin' Frostbolts, just been a nightmare here. So now she can hit me down to 9. I'm pretty much dead to fireballs at this point. It's very, very difficult for me to win. Is she just pinging everything at my face? No, she's going to ping off the Divine Shield. Is she going to trade up? Oh my gosh, well this is encouraging. What this suggests is that she does not have a good a good way to burn me out, because if she did, she would have definitely used it. Alright, so Dark Iron Dwarf is super handy. We get to kill her Dark Iron Dwarf. Kill the Mana Worm. I still heal for a point with that. Make a recruit. And I've actually got card advantage here. I mean, I paid dearly. I paid a lot of health for this card advantage that I have, but it's 3 to 4, even after she kills off my recruit. Oh my gosh. Alright, Wolf says, we'll follow, but I have to go for now. I have a garden party at 9. Wolf, enjoy a garden party. It was great, really great meeting you. Thanks so much for coming by today. She does not have a spell for the auctioneer, unless this is like a, what is this, a wisp? What's she doing back here? She's fingering her cards, not actually doing anything. Okay. We're going to go ahead and kill this off. Obviously, you can't let a mage keep creatures, or keep a god catch an auctioneer. I could just play the Harpy, or I could play more stuff. I will opt for more stuff, because the more board presence I have, the harder it is for my opponent to deal with it. Now, of course, Flame Strike kills everything, but if she uses Flame Strike, that would make my day, because still, it's just a 1-for-1, really. I played one card to get these two things, and a recruit, so it's just 1-for-1. Alright, she has a Questing Adventure. She's not going to Flame Strike here. She has this, which is actually not that great. And she's going to Arcane Missiles. Hopefully they don't hit my face. One of them hit my face. Okay, so one hit my face, but none of my minions died, which is really good. Okay, we could actually survive here, so we have to think carefully. I definitely want to play Sea Giant. Definitely want to kill the Questing Adventure. So my board can actually clear her board. So I might as well play Sea Giant. If I played Windfury Harpy, that would be too expensive. If I played this, that would make this cost 4 mana. Okay, we're going to do this. Definitely don't want to screw up playing Sea Giant, because I've made that mistake before, actually. Now we kill the Questing Adventure. We kill the Kirin Tor Mage. I can't let her hit me with anything anymore. We swing. I'm safe from Flame Strike and Blizzard. I'm safe even from Fireball. This will be left with only 1 health. She has a Mana Worm, which is much less impressive now. And okay, we're in pretty good shape. So unfortunately, I have to divert 8 damage to kill this Mana Worm if I want to kill it. Is that worth it? I think it actually is worth it. I'm actually going to kill it. I really just don't see any reason to let her win on the spot with a Pyroblast if she top decks it. So now I've got 15, 20 damage on the table. She's still not going to die, but I should be able to kill any minion that she would play, like a Goldshire Footman, speak of the devil. Alright, what's she doing? She pings my face, 100% guaranteed she has a what's his face? Pyroblast in the deck. I'm going to play the Dread Corsair. In case she has a charged creature, we'll play the Harpy, because there's no reason not to. Let's kill the Dread Corsair with, or the Goldshire Footman with my weakest hitting creature. Alright, she has 1 out in the entire game of Hearthstone at this point. To win the game, it is Pyroblast. She could also Blizzard or Frost Nova, but that just delays. The only way she can actually win is if she top decks a Pyroblast. She top decks a Dalaran Mage, and we win another game. Wow, I feel like I don't really deserve any of the victories. That terrible Hunter actually almost beat me. The Warrior played really well, made 1 mistake, and then lost. And then that Mage had a pretty strong deck. She had a Mana Worm and a bunch of Frost Bolts, but we win anyway. Look at that skill. Look at that skill. Dark Fate says, looks like she ran herself out of gas. Going all out on the face is iffy at best if you don't have some card draw to rely on to fuel the aggression. She did run out of gas there. I think the one questionable move she made was Frostbolting my face. That Frostbolt did nothing except it let her Mana Worm survive for 1 extra turn. And that probably wasn't worth it. I mean, we say that looking back because I won, but you have to be careful. Just because somebody won doesn't mean that their opponent made mistakes or that the winner played well. You can't always use that sort of reverse engineering to find out who played correctly, but that was the one thing that you could sort of question that she did. She got unlucky with Arcane Missiles. It neither killed my Squire nor my Recruit. That enabled me to clear her board with my board, and that also helped a lot. Alright, well, we're up against another Hunter. Presumably, this Hunter plays better than the last one. I'm going to keep Consecration for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's my only one on the deck, and it might be very important. Number 2, I'm second, so I can actually coin a Worgen or a Peacekeeper and then play the other one on turn 3. Hyopa's start is somewhat slow. I don't want to face a super blistering fast start. Oh, Argent Squire. Well, Raging Worgen does answer Argent Squire. The problem is I can't play Raging Worgen just yet. I have to wait. Oh my god. Tracking, thank goodness. Okay, I would just much rather have him do stuff than actually play minions on the board, unless he has another 1-drop. He does. Well, we're getting ready for Consecration here. Let's see how cautious this guy is. We'll see if he decides to... Leper Gnome, did you really just come a turn late? Ah, Leper Gnome. Gonna play Worgen. Let's see what he wants to do about that. So that will kill the Argent Squire and live to tell about it with 1 health. So my opponent should be somewhat careful. He's gonna kill command, so chompity chomp chomp. Alright. Now what I'm gonna do is make a little bit of a tech play. Instead of playing the Peacekeeper, we're going to actually recruit and Leper Gnome. I'm hoping to bait my opponent into pinging off the Divine Shield on the Squire. And this puts out more bodies on the table. He's going to play Stormwind Knight, which unfortunately lets him clear my board. He's going to kill the 1/1, so now this guy doesn't die to Consecration. He does ping off the Divine Shield. Consecration's not very good here, nor is Dark Iron Dwarf. Alright, let's go ahead and Peacekeep. This is not a very great Peacekeeper, but I think it's better than a Dark Iron Dwarf would have been, because the Dark Iron Dwarf's ability could be useful later on. Oh my god, he's got Starving Buzzard. What else does he have for me here? And he has a second Starving Buzzard. Does he have like a Timberwolf or something to draw 2 cards off those buzzards? Is that what's going to happen? He's playing smart. He played around Consecration by killing off my guy. I am definitely going to play Consecration, though. There's really no reason not to do that. So I have the Consecration. He now has 4 cards. I've taken out 2 of his buzzards. Steady Shotting on turn 6. And he has a 3rd buzzard, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, I stand corrected. Begging your pardon, he has a 4th buzzard. Okay, so that is just terrific. Let's go ahead and bemoan the fact that I don't have a 2nd Consecration anywhere in my deck. Now he's probably got tons of beasts, because, you know, he's got 4 buzzards. Clearly he's got enough beasts to fuel them, or I'd be very surprised. What's awkward is if he clears my board, say with a multi-shot or something, I actually can't get rid of this buzzard. Houndmaster! Ah, Jesus. Well, at least it's not drawing him a card. And at least I can actually kill the buzzard. Is he going for my face? I bet he is. I bet he's going for the face. Yep, he's going for the face. Okay. So we've got a couple of options here. If I play the Dark Iron Dwarf, I can kill the buzzard with the recruit, but then I can't quite kill the Houndmaster. I could Peacekeep the Houndmaster, though, to preserve some damage. I could alternatively play the Sunwalker and just try to preserve against the damage that way. Just kill the buzzard with my minions. Then Deadly Shot, something I'm very vulnerable to. I could Peacekeep the buzzard. Dark Iron Dwarf the Stormwind Knight to kill that. That's stupid. That doesn't do anything. So basically, I'm either playing into Burn or Deadly Shot. Now, a question was asked, why was I reinforcing when Hounds could be incoming? Because I'm really far behind and I gotta take risks. I gotta just risk he doesn't have the Hounds. And it turned out good, because this recruit is very handy here. I will choose to protect my interests by doing this. So my thinking here is, I'm actually just gonna damage this thing. Let's, put a bunch of minions on the board. Let's preserve health, not by taunting, but just by making his guy very weak. And then hope that I can survive later with a Sunwalker when it's not so vulnerable to Deadly Shot. So he's played 4 buzzards. If he has Unleashed the Hounds, I at least hope he doesn't have any more buzzards. He's going to play Cult Master to get a card off this thing, which is alright. I don't mind him getting cards so much because I am ahead on cards. Looks like he has an Explosive Trap. He's damaging this guy down to 2 health. Steady Shotting me. It'll take a little while for Steady Shot to kill me, though. Does he have Explosive Trap? He has Wild Pyromancer. Alright, well that's fine. I can kill everything he's got. Okay, so I could take this opportunity to drop the Ravenhold Assassin, but I think it's more valuable to get the Sunwalker down to protect myself against charged creatures. Even notwithstanding Unleash the Hounds, I will make a recruit because I'm pretty sure he didn't have it before, so I don't see why he'd have it now. We're going to kill the Cult Master first so he doesn't get any cards. I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm going to actually throw away the Peacekeeper just in case he does top deck a Hounds, and just reduce somewhat the amount of minions I have on the board. I shouldn't have put the Sunwalker in the middle. I should have made a recruit first, so that in case of Explosive Shot, he didn't have such a good thing. Alright, Gladiator's Longbow is a pretty good card, but this Divine Shield is quite epic right here. He's not taking damage, but him having to use both charges of this to kill him with just a Sunwalker is pretty good. Okay, so worth it to play the Ravenhold Assassin or the Ogre? Well, the Ogre lets me also play an additional creature. Is it worth it to get an additional creature down? We're going to go for it. We're going to play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul and the Ogre. Really running into the hounds here, but he didn't have them a little while ago, so I just hope he hasn't top decked them since then. And we are threatening lethal here. So this is, 10 plus 13 will be 10 with 13 damage. Okay, so, hey, is it doing this? Does he have Unleash the Hounds to draw a spell? No, he's got an explosive shot to clear my board and draw a card. However, now he can kill my ghoul, but the Dark Iron Dwarf lived. If I draw Reckless Rocketeer or True Silver Champion, I'll win. And I actually draw the True Silver Champion. Oh my god. This has been... Well, this is definitely going on the highlights, that's for sure. I don't care if I lose the next 3 games. The fact that this deck actually won 4 games in a row is pretty remarkable. And it's not just me being like, my deck sucks. Everyone in the chat, you could scroll up if you want to. Like, at least 3 people in the chat were like, wow, that was a terrible draft, sorry about that, says the game. Dark Fate says 4 consecutive wins with a terrible quote-unquote draft. Well, there are some good cards in here. There's the Peacekeepers, but there's like no early game at all to speak of. There's like Leper Gnome, Secret Keeper, and an Ooze, and that's like it. I've been lucky going second. I've been lucky with opponents who made some strange plays. Paladin versus Paladin. Well, this will be the true test. If I actually beat another Paladin at 4-0, then maybe this deck is really better than all of us thought. Alright. Keep the Peacekeeper. It's a good early drop. Rocky Logo says, makes me think they're correct when claiming that any draft can do well. That's a really interesting claim. Can any draft do well? I mean, if we say that any draft can do well, then what we also have to acknowledge is that on those times when we lose, we lost because we're bad. But you could say maybe you lost because you were unlucky with your draws or with your opponent matchups. I think any draft can do well at certain times, depending on who your opponents are. But I think that you can definitely get opponents who, with a bad draft, you just can't win, whereas with a good draft, you could have beaten them, perhaps. And Rocky Logo makes a great point saying that having a bunch of good 3s helps going second. I do have a bunch of good 3s. So on those times when I'm second, life is okay. So it's a 3-drop here. What's it going to be? Sword of Justice. Oh, geez. This is actually a pretty good deck to play Sword of Justice against, because I'm super slow, and he actually has the time to get value out of this thing. Well, Scarlet Crusader is pretty good. It has a decent chance of being able to take down something, but if he plays a 3-drop here that has 3 health, it'll get buffed to 4 and I won't be able to kill it. However, there might be something here that's like a 2-drop. I was actually using 2 charges of this weapon to ping off my stuff. Interesting. That's a 3-4. Alright, so here's where the trouble starts to brew. Raging Worgen's not very good. I could do this. Yeah, we're going to do this. And hit him in the face. So this Golem now kills my Dread Corsair. Oh, geez, this is getting ugly. And then the Sword of Justice can kill my Scarlet Crusader. This is getting very ugly. No question about that. I have to hope I get a Consecration or something later to kill off this Golem. So he has all 4 mana to spend after clearing my board. I do have a pretty good drop. The Silverhand Knight will be nice. But he's got the first turn here, which is the problem. Swamp Ooze. Alright, so he's got a 4-3. And what else? And just to recruit. Is it worth peacekeeping here? I don't think it actually is. I think I'm just going to play Silverhand Knight. This also puts 2 minions on the board, just like Peacekeeper Recruit would have. But it spends more of my card mana, which is helpful because I'm drawing some pretty expensive stuff here. Ravenhold Assassin is super gregarious, showing up in every game, which is somewhat annoying. Fen Creeper, oh god, that's mighty. That protects his board completely. He will smartly clear off my stuff. Not the Squire, though. Taking a little risk keeping that around. Alright, let's drop a Sunwalker. And hope it sticks. He can, of course, recruit Fen Creeper and Golem to finish it off. But if he has any better way of dealing with it, I'm going to fall super far behind. Alright, he actually looks like he's going to do that thing. Oh, nope, maybe he's got a True Silver Champion or Hammer of Wrath. Consecration. That lets the Fen Creeper kill it, and the Fen Creeper is still alive afterwards. So I'm in a little bit of trouble here. No, he's going to actually cash out the Golem. Interesting choice. Out of damage the Fen Creeper for that. Keep the Golem preserved. Alright, so let's play the Peacekeeper on the Fen Creeper. So I have got two of the Peacekeepers. I might as well be a little bit greedy with them. I'm going to drop the Raging Worgen down. It's not as expensive as the Silvermoon Guardian, but this threatens to Wind Fury itself against the Peacekeeper, so I'm putting some pressure on him to really kill off this Worgen. This would not have put out the same amount of pressure. Holy Wrath, he rolls the dice and gets a 5-mana card. Okay, that could have been really bad for him, but instead it was really good for him. So at least it was most of his mana. Now he's running away with these recruits, unfortunately. Nothing I can do. I could play Ravenhold Assassin, but that seems awfully silly. Let's play this. And Flesh-Eating Ghoul and a recruit. So there's some pressure to kill this ghoul now, because if he doesn't kill the ghoul, it's going to get pretty big pretty soon. The 3/3 is good against this 1/3, but he's got a ton of cards. Look at this, 7 cards. I don't think I'm going to win this game. I would have needed like a Lay on Hands or something to catch up card-wise. Anyway, I can't really complain. I did somehow manage to win 4 games. This guy has 2 Holy Wraths. Are you kidding me? This time it only did 2 damage, so he's got to throw away a recruit to finish the deal. I think he got a Holy Wrath with a Holy Wrath is how that happened. Crazed Alchemist always finds a use. He now makes this Fen Creeper deal more damage, and he's actually going to trade creatures, so probably this is Noble Sacrifice, I'm guessing. Consecration arrives like 5 hours too late, as it always does. Do you waste the Peacekeeper here? Just to put a body on the ground? Nope. Gonna have to get maximal value out of that Peacekeeper to have a chance. Now, I did get Consecration, so it's possible that he'll flood the board with little things and I'll get a super advantage. Oh no, he's gonna get a card. I don't want him to get more cards. That's unfortunate. Ugh. The nice thing is that now the Silverhand Recruit will flush out Noble Sacrifice. What's awkward here, though, oh god, what's really awkward? What's really awkward is that once that Noble Sacrifice dies, it actually gets a card off of Cultmaster. That is just outrageously bad. This is gonna cycle for a card unless I consecrate to kill the Cultmaster. No, we're not gonna do that. We're going to run into the Noble Sacrifice. With that, he's going to get a card. I'm going to play Ravenhold Assassin, which is all stealthy. Should I run this in? I don't think so. We'll do it a recruit, and we'll do Leper Gnome. I guess in case he has a Consecration, I'm going to run that in, just so it doesn't die to Consecration for nothing. I just hope he overextends against Consecration. That's pretty much the only hope I have at this point. Blue Thunder says, Holy Wrath, more like holy crap, am I right? Dark Fate says he's using it mostly as card draw, which is sort of smart. Yes, it does draw a card. Thing is, though, that, I mean, you're getting the card draw off of it, but it's just worse than Hammer of Wrath. That's what depresses me so much about that card. It's just worse than Hammer of Wrath is. Oh god, is your Drake? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. And another Abomination? Oh my god, that's terrible. Lord on a friggin' pony. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and Noble Sacrifice. Recruit. Sure, I'll Peacekeep, whatever. Should I Consecrate here? Nah, let's pass the turn. Oh, man. He's gonna Holy Wrath. Wow, he's got another Holy Wrath for the face. I guess he was fishing for a Molten Giant. Alright, he was checking maybe for Eye for an Eye or something. So there's the Noble Sacrifice. Now the Abomination will pop after I Consecrate. This Azure Drake sadly will still live to tell the tale. He's actually going to get pretty close to dying here. Oh my gosh, if this is a Noble Sacrifice, it could actually save his life. Oh geez, well, okay, he just really saved himself a whole lot. But otherwise, if you think about it, if I had popped this thing with Consecration, that's 2 health to his face. He's 14. Consecration deals another 2. He's 12. Man, I actually could have won. I could have won this game if he didn't have this Noble Sacrifice and the Divine Shield. That's so frustrating. Well, let's check for Noble Sacrifice. It is Noble Sacrifice. Damn it. That's so frustrating. Is it worth consecrating? I could pop Divine Shield, but if I lose this assassin, that's gonna be lights out. He's got 5, 8 damage. He doesn't have enough damage to kill me, I don't think. I'm not going to put Blessing of Kings on this, though, because I really would like to put it on the Assassin and have it... Actually, is it worth it to put Blessing of Kings on this? You know what? I'm just going to put Blessing of Kings here and Consecrate. So the idea here is now I'm risking that he has a Consecration, which will cause my Ravenhold Assassin to die after he pops this Abomination, but I have to take that chance. And I'm hoping that with this Abomination popping, if I get a Reckless Rocketeer, I can actually win the game. If he doesn't have a Consecration. Alright, he pops that. Everything dies. Does he have a Consecration to finish this off? He has a Sunwise. No! Why do you keep having answers to my stuff? Oh, my God. Ah, Sunwalker. So first he had the nonsense with Noble Sacrifice and Divine Shield. And now he has a Sunwalker. There's no way I can win. So this Ravenhold Assassin was really trying. Was really trying hard. But my opponent just had too many answers. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and eat a conciliatory piece of chocolate. Not that I'm that sad losing with this deck, but it hurts my soul that I actually could have won that game if I had actually been able to kill that stupid Abomination down that one turn. Trader Joe's, make me feel better. Thank you. So some people are talking about Holy Wrath and how much mana it should cost. I just think that card should not exist. I don't care how much mana it costs. It's just a stupid card. It's just like a random version of Hammer of Wrath, and it's worse. If it costs 4 mana, I would still rather have Hammer of Wrath in my deck. If it costs 3, then it's probably overpowered. Oh my God, I got a 2-drop. Call the police. So the thing that you have to do with Holy Wrath, when you're evaluating a card like Holy Wrath, is you need to consider its average damage. So take the average mana cost of a card in your deck. That is the damage that Holy Wrath deals, but it's unreliable. It's going to Iron Beak Owl to kill my Leper Gnome, which is fine. It's a 1-to-1 trade. I am okay with this. And I'm going to play a 1-1 here instead of the Ooze, which is a little bit of a risky move because if he does play like a 3-2 or a 2-3, I'll be in a little bit of trouble. But I'm going to gamble that he's not. Okay, that was a bad gamble. So now I can't kill this Flame Imp because of my gamble here, but I figured it was worth trying. So here, let's go ahead and play Flesh and Ghoul and hit him in the face. I should have played the Ooze. I was gambling with him having that owl thing that he didn't have any better plays, but he did. He had the Flame Imp. So if I had played the Ooze, I could have killed the Flame Imp, and now he's actually going to Demon Fire to buff that thing up and kill my Flesh and Ghoul with it. Alright, well, it's actually okay because I can play the Dark Iron Dwarf, use the Recruit to kill this thing off, and I'm okay card-wise. He has 5 cards to my 5, and I've got a Yeti coming up, or a Worgen and a Recruit, depending on the situation. He pretty much needs his own Yeti or Senjin right now to stay ahead, or to get ahead. So yeah, if you look at the average mana cost of a card in your deck, it's probably actually going to be higher than 3 for most decks, which is technically, I think, why Blizzard made it a 5 mana card instead of 4 mana. But I just still think it's just so terrible that it's not worth ever having. Okay, so here I'm playing the Worgen. That could potentially stop him from playing some little things. Since he had that Flame Imp and the Owl, I'm hoping his curve is low. If he plays a really big drop, though, I'm going to regret not having the Scarlet Crusader. Alright, he's dropped a Tiger, which will kill my Worgen, sadly. But I got a Boulder Fist Ogre. I think that's better than playing the Crusader and other stuff, so we'll just play the Ogre. Swing, get him down a little bit lower. Now I can use the Tiger to kill my Worgen. But then I can use the Ogre to kill the Tiger, which is fine. Argent Commander will actually kill my Worgen, it looks like. So the tiger then is just hitting my face. Okay. Truce of a Champion arrives just in time. So what we're going to do here is pop the Truce of a Champion. I'm going to hit the tiger. Well, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to keep the recruit alive. If I hit the tiger, I have to throw the recruit away. This way, my ogre takes a bit more damage, but I get to keep my recruit on the table, and I feel like the recruit is valuable. So we're going to Farseer to heal up the ogre. 5 health is a big difference between 5 and 2 against warlocks, because 2 you die to Demon Fire and Soul Fire and Shadow Bolt, and 5 you die to none of those things. So that's pretty significant. I'm actually in the lead here. Alright, True Super Champion plus my recruit will take care of all this stuff, and Raging Organ will get taken care of as well. It's looking pretty good. I might actually win this game. Amazingly enough. So that kills that, and that kills that. He does seem to have a pretty weak deck. He's got like kind of a playing kind of crap even in the endgame here. The ogre that I took hesitatingly is really worth it now. Let's play the Crusader, let's play the Worgen, let's play the recruit. So you'll notice I keep making recruits instead of the ooze. Obviously warlocks don't have any weapons, but I'm just judging that the extra card is worth it compared to the extra power and toughness in these situations. But I probably should have played the ooze on turn 2. That was probably a mistake. On turn 2 you should probably just play an ooze, unless you really have good reason to think that your opponent's not going to have anything to play on turn 2. So he played back-to-back Gnomish Inventors, which will let me deal some damage to him. Yeah, Secret Keeper, that's the card I've been waiting for. So we run in like this, and do a quick count. We have 10, 14 damage. I think it's just worth it. I think it's just worth it to kill him. The odds of me being able to, or me dying at this point are pretty small. Let's play Secret Keeper. Alright, so, yeah, Warlocks could Twisting Nether or Shadow Flame their way out of the situation. But otherwise, he's just totally boned. I've got Reckless Racketeer, which will let me kill him. Don't have any Hammer of Wraths or any sorts of, like, direct damage. So if he, like, clears the board somehow and drops a taunt, I could be in trouble. He's got Mind Control Tech, which makes no difference. Okay, got my Scarlet Crusader. Does he have a Defender of Argus? Okay, if he has a Defender of Argus, I'm actually in trouble. He's got a Fen Creeper. Okay, that's not a Defender of Argus, so unlike the Warrior, who actually ended up losing anyway, this guy will lose to a recruit to the face. Solsima says he did say sorry. I think he was showing off there. I think he counted that I was only able to get him down to 1 health, and he was saying sorry for that. I will generously assume that that wasn't a bad-mannered sorry. Alright, so 5 wins with the crap deck. I could lose the next 2 games and be entirely satisfied with how this run went. But if I actually make it to 7, well, that'll be great because this was... I know I said it was terrible and then I made it to 7, so haha, Boris, evaluates decks badly. But people agreed with me during that draft while this was going on. I mean, we're playing with Secret Keeper here. We're playing with, like, no early game. We had to, like, choose some awful cards at some points. It's just been bad. The curve's bad. So really, I feel like it's an achievement if we do make it to 7, and people did agree the deck was bad, so I'm just, tooting my own horn as I do. Wow, I have not seen equality a single time in 6 games. No, I did see it 1 game. We're going to go ahead and keep the Peacekeeper. Always keep an early Peacekeeper if you've got nothing better. In fact, it's very rare that I'll ever mulligan a Peacekeeper. We have them back-to-back, and we are first rather than second, so that's going to mean a slow start. This time Leper Gnome did not show up, nor did my Ooze. He has a fast start here. Pyromancer. Alright, that's not the worst 2-drop to face because it means that if he does play minions, or sorry, spells, this thing will just eventually die by itself, and I'm okay with that. Direwolf Alpha, not too big of a deal just yet. Noble Sacrifice. This is actually worth it because it kills either of his minions. So what I'm going to do here is, well, let's see, if I make a recruit and Noble Sacrifice, a spell will kill both recruits thanks to the Pyromancer. I could put a Divine Shield on this thing, make it annoying to deal with. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to use a premature Divine Shield. I'm not going to pop it yet, we're just going to hit him in the face and be annoying, and we're going to play a secret. That if he's a good player, which I assume he is in the 5-1 bracket, he will know it is Noble Sacrifice, but if he doesn't have a Shadowstone Cleric, there's nothing he can really do about it. Except just accept that for 1 mana, I'm killing one of his minions. So Noble Sacrifice is acting like a really bad Arcane Shot. Like, Arcane Shot would have just been strictly better than Noble Sacrifice here. He chooses to give up the wolf to it, so I guess he values that Pyromancer, which is fine. Let's see if he has a spell. Spell would be pretty good for him here. It would let him pop off the Divine Shield and do something else. No, he's just going to play Grizzly. Ah, it's annoying. It protects the Pyromancer. Ball sacks. Blessing of Kings! Hey! Alright, we're going to put the Blessing of Kings on the Recruit. The reason for this is I can kill the bear this way and the Pyromancer. If I put the Blessing of Kings on the Protector, I could preserve the Divine Shield on the Recruit, but then I couldn't actually kill the Pyromancer. So now I've got a 5/5. He can, of course, Deadly Shot. I will assume that if he doesn't Deadly Shot here, he doesn't have one. Can't imagine him not wanting a Deadly Shot at this stage. Hopeless Meat mentioned in the chat that Trump said that the average mana cost of a minion on the board is 3, so he wouldn't run Holy Wrath. I'm not actually sure if Trump is correct on that, but if he is correct, then that would certainly be a pretty good explanation. Let's play Silverhand Knight, and let's kill this Cobra off. The reason I threw it voluntarily into the Cobra is I'm not in a good position to race, and if I didn't kill the Cobra here, the Cobra could kill the Recruit or the Squire and still stay alive to kill something else. Another Tiger here. Blue Thunder notes that one of his questions didn't get through. I apologize. I didn't see any questions, so yeah, it's just Twitch chat being stupid. Do I play right into Buzzard Hounds? Remember, guys, Unleash the Hounds costs 3 mana now, so it's a little bit different. If he did Buzzard Hounds, he'd only have 1 mana left, which is a world of difference compared to having 2 mana left. So I'm going to go for it. It just got nerfed. Usually after a card gets nerfed, people don't play with it as much. There's like a rush of people who don't use the card. So I'm taking that chance. I'll take the chance. He does have Unleash the Hounds. Look at that, 3 mana. Well, at least he didn't get 4 cards off of it. How is he going to use this? Well, I'm guessing he's going to clear off my Knight. Oh, no, he can clear my board now. Ouch. Kill command plus the Hounds. Well, it wasn't nerfed hard enough, I guess. That's unfortunate. He even has a Hound left over after all this is said and done. Balls. Alright, that 1 health is really annoying. I don't have any great way of dealing with it. I'm not going to use my Reckless Rocketeer here. Here's Peacekeeper number 1, and I'm going to go ahead and heal back up while putting a 3/3 on the table. Fidelius asks, does adding 1 mana to the cost of Hounds actually have that big an impact on it? Yeah, actually, it really does. 1 mana difference is huge. It really is. It used to be 4 mana, so like back then it was like a kind of mediocre card that nobody really cared about. And now when it was down to 2 mana, and it was like this game-changing thing. So that was 2 mana difference, but a 2 mana difference is just a 1 mana difference twice. You know, it's not that special. Alright, so he's got this trap here, which unfortunately is probably something that will kill this Reckless Rocketeer. But it's either that or waste the Peacekeeper. However, he's kind of low on cards. Ah, man, I'm just going to do it. Oh, I screwed up so bad. I should not have played the Recruit first, because if it's Explosive Trap... You know, I don't think he would have played an Explosive Trap, though. I'm going to gamble it's not Explosive Trap. It is a Snipe, okay. So I lose the Reckless Rocketeer. But card-wise, I'm doing pretty well. I have the Equality Consecration combo to clear his board if I need to. Blue Thunder asks, wait, Unleash the Hounds got nerfed since when? It was yesterday. All of our troubles seemed so close, because Unleash the Hounds only cost 2 mana, but now they're far away. Hooray. Alright, Flesh-Eating Ghoul does hold up against the Ghoul. Or the Golem. Jesus, I can't talk today. Is it worth using the Peacekeeper here just to get a 3/3 onto the table? Is it worth using it just to get a 3/3 onto the table? I think it is. I think if I wait any longer, I'm going to be screwed. And I have Equality Consecration, which will kill anything. So I might as well just put that down, even though it's kind of a waste. Knife Juggler will let him try to kill off my recruits. He's got a 40% chance of killing him. Okay, now he's got a 25% chance. He's got a Secret. Okay, so he didn't have any minions to play. Alright. What trap is that? It's hard to say. But since he's out of cards, I'm just going to Consecrate. And then my Recruit can check for Freezing Trap against his damaged Golem. Okay, he actually concedes. Alright, there really wasn't any trap that was good. Explosive Trap wouldn't kill my 3 toughness stuff. Freezing Trap would let me reuse the Peacekeeper. He was just in trouble. Alright, 6-1. I actually have 2 chances to make it to 7. That's pretty sweet. Blue Up Thunder comments that Unleash the Hounds is now a fair card, and I agree. Almost. I think that I'd rather see it be at the original 4 mana. I mean, it was still great. It's if you get even 3 hounds, 3/3, 3 power and 3 toughness, charging, with the potential to, like, make multiple use of buffs and card drawing off the buzzard and whatnot, is totally fair for 4 mana. Just completely fair. So they made it 2 mana, which made it outrageous, and then 3 mana it's kind of in between, of course. But I would rather have it be like a kind of a situational combo card than like a card that's just a staple. Alright, so this is actually a pretty bad opening hand. We got our Blessing of Wisdom here, which is not good in the slightest. I could coin a recruit and try to coin another recruit the following turn. It's either that, or sorry, coin a recruit, play another recruit, and then play a 3-drop, or I could pass here, coin a 3-drop, and then another 3-drop. I'm actually going to coin a recruit. Now, this might seem a little bit crazy. You might be like, Boris, why are you doing that? The reason is that these are not actually very good drops to play back-to-back on turns 2 and 3. They're pretty weak. Especially if the Flesh-Eating Ghoul is being dropped on an empty board. It's just a 2/3 for 3 mana, basically, which is overpriced for a 2-mana minion. Alright. So here we have a couple of options. I can either use Equality to kill this Crocolisk, or I can, which is a card for a card. It's a very powerful card, Equality, so it's underutilized here, but I could do that. I could just play another Recruit and call it a day, or I could play Blessing of Wisdom for cards. Well, I'm going to make another Recruit here. So we're just going to see what he can do here, because he can use the Crocolisk, of course, to kill one Recruit, but then the other Recruit is still there. That's hard to say what's going to happen, but if I keep board presence, I feel like that's my best chance here. Blue Up Thunder asks, Blessing of Wisdom, what was the pick that forced you to take that card? It was like the Grimscale Oracle, Blessing of Wisdom, and I think that was where there was a Humility. And I chose Blessing of Wisdom over Humility, which I think was okay, because I ended up having like 2 Peacekeepers. Alright, we got a Loot Hoarder here, which is great. Happy to see that. So I can now put a Divine Shield on my dude and kill the Loot Hoarder, or I can play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul and kill the Loot Hoarder and get a big thing. Let's actually think, because this will trade with the Crocolisk, but this actually can kill the Crocolisk and his next play. I'm going to go for the Flesh-Eating Ghoul here. Even though I lose board presence because the Recruit dies, I get a bigger creature, and this could make a difference. He now might feel pressure to kill this instead of putting more stuff on the board, whereas he could have just killed this with his Crocolisk and put down whatever 4-drop he wanted. However, Ascension or a Yeti would be very strong here. It would be too hard for the Ghoul to kill it. I would have to kill the Crocolisk, but Ascension would actually protect the Crocolisk. So Ascension is probably the worst thing he could have. Drain Life, I'm super thrilled to see that, even though it's going to be followed up by Immortal Coil. No, he's actually 2 for 1 in Crocolisk, while the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, I don't know if it was the correct play, but it definitely worked out really well. So now I can either play the Farseer, waste the Battlecry, or I could put this and the Argent Protector down. I'm actually going to do the Recruit and the Protector, because I have a bunch of 6-drops here, which is extremely unfortunate. The only way that I can have a chance in this game is if I have board presence, and this is more board presence than just the Farseer is, so that's why I went for it. Now next turn I can make a Recruit and Farseer, and cry over the fact that I cannot play any of my 6-drops. Alright, life tapping I'm totally fine with. When he life taps, he goes up a card, and I play Recruit, I go up a card, but he's losing life for it, so I'm okay with it. Loot Order number 2 is fine. It's just another cycle. So he's actually giving me lots of time to stall until I can play my 6-drops. So I can play the Farseer and a Recruit. I'm actually going to play the Dark Iron Dwarf, though. The reason for that is it's a bigger body than the Farseer, and I want to have the biggest bodies possible when I am trying to lay down my 6-drops. Now, I actually made a mistake. I had no mana left over. I should have played Blessing of Wisdom on the Recruit before I used it. It would have cycled for a card, which is fine, because otherwise the Mana Crystal was just wasted, so I should have just cycled for a card. Oh god, is he going to Hellfire here to clear my board? He actually is. Well, at least it kills this Geomancer off. Alright, so we have 4 6-drops to play here. Which one do you play? Quite an interesting question. Definitely not the Rocketeer. I think we can all agree on that. We keep that in reserve. The Harpy hits the hardest. The Ogre has the most health. But really, how does a Warlock kill a Harpy? Siphon Soul, which also kills a Ogre. So I'm going to play the Harpy, because I don't need the taunt, and getting damage through is actually nice. I mean, if this thing hits for 8, he's already at 12, and then he's at 7. I mean, he's into trouble. Now, if he plays a really big card that the Ogre could have killed that the Harpy cannot, then I'll regret this choice. But look, Siphon Soul. So this would have hit the Ogre or the Sunwalker. The Harpy was definitely the one I would much rather see hit by that. Now I can play Ravenholt Assassin, which is interesting. I am not, however. I'm going to play the Ogre here. The reason I'm not playing Ravenholt Assassin is because I want to get damage through with the Ogre, then play the Assassin, have it lie in wait, and then hit. This is sort of like a delayed charge creature because the opponent can't mess with it. Now, if he plays Taunts or something, I might regret it. But this, compared to the Ogre, actually has one fewer total stat points, and I don't really need the Stealth at the moment. So actually, look at this. With this thing coming down, it's really good that I didn't play the Assassin because this would have killed the Assassin. Now, I'm not saying I'm playing, like I'm making the correct plays, but I just want to point out that like how my decisions are really working out very well. All right, so here we have a couple of options. I can hit this and heal it, but then I cannot play a 6-drop. I can kill this with a Reckless Rocketeer, and that would let me clear his board. And I'm actually going to go for that. I'm going to kill this like that. I'm going to put a Blessing of Wisdom on my Ogre and kill this. So we're going to fight fair here. This is at 5 health. It's really difficult for the Warlock to kill this without another Siphon Soul, or he'd need like 2 cards like Shadow Bolt and Mortal Coil. It cycled for a card, so the Blessing of Wisdom paid for itself, and now I might get more cards out of it. He's going to Shadow Bolt. Looks like he does actually have the Mortal Coil to finish this off, which is unfortunate. No, it's Hellfire! Shadow Bolt Hellfire. Well, I'm okay with that, because he took a bunch of damage. Now he's life tapping, going even further lower on life, but he's got 5 cards here to my 6, soon to be 7, so I'm in pretty good shape. Alright, let's go ahead and drop Sunwalker and Raging Worgen. I could go up more cards with playing Recruits, but I feel like the bigger bodies are good here, because the further down I can get him health-wise, the less he can life tap. Blue Elf Thunder says, Blessing of Wisdom is better than Divine Favor. I agree. Now, in a constructed aggro paladin deck, Divine Favor is godlike. But in Arena, 100%, yeah. Blessing of Wisdom is better than Divine Favor. Fidelius notes that Divine Favor is bad even when playing it in an aggro deck. It has to be like, I don't know maybe if you have this type of deck and it just doesn't work in the metagame, but it has to be like a balls to the walls, super duper low curve aggro deck. It can't just even be like a moderate aggro deck. It has to be completely balls to the walls. Flame Imp, he's going further lower on health, which is fine by me. And he's going to life tap. Okay, so he's going really down low. Risky business here. He's going to Shadow Bolt my Worgen, which protects 2 of his creatures, actually. That was quite clutch. Alright, choose of a champion. Okay, I'm going to just keep playing fair. I don't see the reason not to play fairly. So we will kill this like that. Kill this dude like that. And I'm going to fight a little bit unfairly. We're going to get 4 damage through. That's kind of a big deal. So now he is facing lethal damage. I've got the Assassin for extra push. And he needs a taunt to survive, basically. Even if he gets a taunt, I can equality to get through it, unless it's like a Sunwalker or something. So he's in a lot of trouble here. Knife Juggler might ping off the Divine Shield, might kill the Recruit. The Recruit is what he really wants to kill here. That would make the biggest difference. Nat asks, do you upload the stream to YouTube, Boris? Yes, I will definitely upload this highlight to YouTube. Pings off the Divine Shield, which I don't care about. Doesn't kill the Recruit. That's all I really care about. He's got 2 spell damage. Hungry Crab, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, there's Hero Recruit did not die. So now my opponent is actually dead, unless this is a Soulfire. But even the Soulfire will not kill the Sunwalker. Sunwalker plus True Silver plus Recruit is the game. And what's he going to do with this last card? Is he going to show me a Soulfire? Doobity, 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 doobity. No, wait, Soulfire will kill Sunwalker. It will kill Sunwalker because it's spell damage. It'll deal 6 damage. What is he doing? I don't know what he was doing, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and do this, and that, and we made it to 7 wins. Okay. Nat says, thanks, I'm out till the next stream. Bye. Take care, Nat. Good to see you, sir. You will get to see the rest of this on YouTube, I promise. Now, okay, we'll take a little break here. Not from the stream, just from playing. Let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look at the deck and see if it's actually as bad as we say. So, Blessing of Wisdom, 1 terrible card. Noble Sacrifice, 2 terrible cards. Secret Keeper, 3rd terrible card. We're just at our 1-drops. Then we have a single 2-drop here, just the Ooze. The Argent Protector doesn't really count. So that's the 4th knock against this deck. Actually, I think this is pretty good. This is all pretty good. Dread Corsair is okay. They've got a True Silver Champion. Actually, this is all solid. Okay. Okay, so here's the deal. We have a bad curve at the end, so that's the 5th knock against the deck. So really, there's like 3 bad cards, plus a couple of curve issues. I guess if we're being totally objective, the deck is not the worst I've ever played. In fact, I had a Paladin draft a long time ago that I really did do terribly with, where I was like, this is the worst draft ever. But this one actually is okay. It's just a little bit lacking for removal, and it's got a bad curve and some shitty cards, but it's okay. Fidelius makes a great point. In response to the comment that you need at least 2 less cards than your opponent for Divine Favor to be okay, Fidelia says, I always keep the Divine Favor in my hand, hoping I can draw more, hoping I can get like 4 or 5. That's a great comment, because it's one of the trickiest things in Hearthstone. You have to train yourself and really force yourself not to hold out so long for a combo that you forget to win the game. Sometimes you just gotta get something while it's good, even if there's a potential for something better later on. Blew up Thunder while I was saying that typed. Remember, Boris is saying a good option now is better than the best option later. That is right. Now we're up against a mage, so she's gonna be killing our paladins. I hope I get an ooze. It's the one card in my deck I really hope to. Oh Jesus. Okay, Mana Worm. All right. So do you play the Recruit here, or do you Blessing of Wisdom with the Mana Worm so that you start getting cards when she attacks with it? I'm gonna put Blessing of Wisdom on this. This is awful, but the Recruit was gonna die regardless, so I might as well get cards or stop the Mana Worm from attacking. She pings my face, so she didn't have anything better to do. So it's a good thing I didn't play the Recruit, because the Recruit would have done nothing. She elects not to give me a card, which is fine. Ooze. Do I play the Ooze here? Well, not much of a point. Let's play the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. She can, of course, use the Mana Worm and ping to kill the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, but then that's her whole entire turn. And I drew a card off Blessing of Wisdom. The Ooze would have died to ping plus Mana Worm also. She's going to Frostbolt, growing her Mana Worm, but if she attacks, I gotta get a card. Probably not worth it to attack here. Yeah, it's not worth it to attack there because that's 2 damage for giving your opponent a card, and that's not really worth it. Okay, so Blessing of Wisdom there, doing its thing, quote-unquote. Water. Oh, wow, I haven't actually faced a Water Elemental in a while. Okay. Well, luckily Dark Iron Dwarf is a really good card. It's a good top deck as well. We're going to get to kill this Water Elemental before it causes too many grievances. And she could actually use the Mana Worm to finish off the Yeti, or she could ping it over 2 turns. We'll see what she wants to do. The problem with this Blessing of Wisdom shenanigans is that I don't want to kill this either, because it's like stopping me from getting cards. So you kind of want the opponent to do something. Okay. So she did this. This is okay. I've got a Peacekeeper in case this thing gets out of hand. I'm going to do Sunwalker or Ogre. Tough call here. Ogre dies to Fireball. Ogre and Sunwalker against a mage are the exact same thing, because a Polymorph and a Fireball plus pinging will kill them both. So which one would I rather lose to Fireball or Polymorph? I guess I would rather lose the Ogre because the Sunwalker is taunt, and that could save me later on if I'm trying to prevent damage. So I'm going to play the Ogre there. See if we can get a Fireball or a Polymorph out of her hand. She just top decked something that she might like. Nope. Here's a card way on the left. Shattered Sun Cleric. Okay, does she have like a Frostbolt or something? Or is she just going to ping off this dwarf? Looks like she's going to choose to ping the dwarf away, which is totally fair. So what we're going to do here is... Oh god, Blessing of Kings. Okay, I'm not going to use Blessing of Kings. We're going to Peacekeep this Kurobashi. I'm essentially healing the Ogre for 5 by doing this. Now, do you just play out into a Flame Strike? Well, the Recruit, I don't really care. Yeah, well, we'll play the Ooze. We'll play the Ooze into Flame Strike. That's fine. So she can Flame Strike and throw the Shattered Sun Cleric. That'll clear my board. She'll have 6 cards to 5. Yeah, I'll be a little bit behind then. I'll repopulate with a Sunwalker and a Reinforcement. She didn't have Polymorph or Fireball, so that makes it somewhat more likely that she has a Flame Strike. If she doesn't have Polymorph, Fireball, or Flame Strike, and we're at 7 wins, that would be kind of a small miracle. Once we see the Shattered Sun Cleric run in, she has Flame Strike. Okay. Well, that's fine. So we're a card down, but we go up a card every time we make a reinforcement, and she doesn't kill it with her hero ability. And it's kind of nice because if she can Blizzard now. Is she Blizzarding here? No, she's going to coin Flame Strike. Okay, that's what she was thinking about. She wasn't sure. This is actually really unfortunate because she actually got a creature onto the board. I was really hoping that she wouldn't get a creature onto the table. But she got this thing on, which is a kind of a nuisance. Well, let's play Sunwalker and a reinforcement. So now she can ping off the Divine Shield. She can ping off the Divine Shield, but then she's not pinging this. And I hope she doesn't have that many more Flame Strikes, although without Polymorphs or Fireballs. Oh man, does she actually have a Polymorph now? Nope, she doesn't have it. What does she have? Arcane Intellect. Okay, so she's going up cards, and she's going up more cards thanks to the Violet Teacher. I need to get Consecration pretty soon here, else I'm going to be in serious trouble. Sea Giant also wouldn't be amiss. Alright, let's, Blessing of Kings. To kill off that thing. Let's kill off this thing. Stop that nonsense. Now the Violet Student plus hero ability will kill my Sunwalker tragically, unless I heal it. Way to go, Boris. Way to talk yourself into making good plays. And then we're going to make a recruit. So let's see if she has Flame Strike number 2. I guess she might. I mean, going this long without Fireballs or Polymorphs makes it more likely that she's doubled up on Flame Strike. So Flame Strike would clear my board, and then she'd be a few cards ahead. No Flame Strike. She just has a Chillwind Yeti, which is fine by me. And a Vengeful Mercenary. Oh, this is great. I am super delighted by everything that is taking place here. Secret Keeper. Alright, so what we can do here is we can actually race against this Ventricle Mercenary, but the Yeti is a problem. The Yeti is a real problem. I could kill this Ventricle with the Recruit plus that, but then I still can't kill the Yeti. She can run into the Sunwalker and ping it to death. That's annoying. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play fair. I'm going to kill the Ventricle Mercenary. I'm going to kill the Violet Student. I'm going to hit her for 4 damage, because she seems not to have Fireballs or anything. We'll play a Wind Fury Harpy, which puts a lot of pressure on her. And I'm going to play Secret Keeper because, honestly, who gives a crap? Do I play Leper Gnome here? How confident am I that she would have Flame Struck last turn if she had a Flame Strike? I'm pretty confident. I don't think she has Flame Strike. I don't think she's got Flame Strike or Blizzard, so I'm willing to stake my continued existence. Flame Strike will let her clear my board. Is there a Flame Strike? Okay, what's she pinging? Is she pinging the Harpy? No, she does not have Flame Strike, so the Harpy gets to live. Man, if I'd kept Blessing of Kings, that would have been good. No, she has a Polymorph. Wow, she actually finally found a Polymorph. Alright, well, this is okay. I'm actually doing really well here. Yeah, even with this Yeti, I'm doing fine. So she guaranteed does not have Flame Strike, which is really good to know. Consecration, not helpful at all, really, but what we can do is we can use the Recruit to kill that. We can play Silverhand Knight. I am completely extending against Flame Strike because I'm pretty sure she just doesn't have it. This mage does not have that much removal. Alright, this is actually very do or die for the mage. She's got to do something to stop me because this is a lot of power. This is not a very impressive army, but it is a big army. I've got 2 direct damage in my hand. Consecration, I think, is the only direct damage in my deck that I have, which is kind of comical. And then this is 2 more damage as well, unless she silences it. So there's 4 damage. She's at 11 health. And I'm at full health, so she's actually in a little bit of trouble here. Blue Elf on... Oh, she actually got Flame Strike. Alright, I think she just top-decked it. So I might lose the game now. I don't think I can race her out unless she plays a bunch of stuff that'll die to Consecration. Well, we'll see. Ravenhold Assassin would be pretty sweet. Truce of a Champion could also be helpful. Alright. Omega Recruit. Truce of a Champion is 8 damage. This is 10 damage. I think I'm too far behind to fight fair. I'm going to hit her in the face. Is it worth consecrating? There's no reason to commit to the consecration. I think the odds of a counterspell are very small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to consecration. I'm going to let her play more stuff potentially and at least let it get damaged even if I don't outright kill it. And we'll see if I can get lucky. If she doesn't play any more taunts and I top deck Ruckus Rocketeer or Ravenhold Assassin, I could be okay. Oh god, Molten Giant. Oh no, that's bad. She got a free Molten Giant. I'm actually facing lethal damage now though. Yep. None of her stuff dies to Consecration. I need to win right here. Dread Corsair does not win, but what it does do is it gives me 1 more turn to find an out. So we consecrate just to deal the damage to her and pop off the Divine Shields. We hit her in the face. Heal up a little bit. She can kill this, and then she's got 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 3 is 19, 20 damage. So if she doesn't get damage to kill me, I have one more chance to get an out, which would have to be Reckless Rocketeer, I think, is actually the only card. Oh no, she kills me. Polymorph gets rid of my Taunter, and then that's the game. So that was a Molten Giant that she got for free that actually prevented me from drawing a card and maybe winning the game. She gets me down to -1 with the hero ability. So that was a pretty good play by the mage. I did stretch out against Flame Strike, and had I kept some cards in reserve, I would have had more board presence and maybe would have won, but I think I took a good gamble. It was just that one card that would have saved her the game. Blizzard would have not killed everything off. So it was the one card that saved her the game. She clearly did not have it for a couple of turns. She top decked it when she needed it. It was a fair game. I'm pretty happy with how that went. Dark Fate says, last turn, not so irrelevant Molten Giant. That is correct. Some folks are asking, who did I lose to? I actually don't remember who I lost to. That's really matters. I lost to that mage. That's true. I forget who the other person was that I lost to. I think it was a hunter maybe, but I don't really know. Noble Sacrifice. Very risky card to play on turn 1. It will, however, be played. It sucks if he has a Fiery War Axe. It sucks if he plays a 2/3. I will take, however, these chances. Because if he has a 3/2, this could discourage him from playing it, or it will just kill it. Both of those are a win for me. I'm okay with both of those situations. It's going to armor up. Okay, so no Fiery War Axe. Now, I could coin out 3-drops back to back, but that seems awfully silly. These are just not very good 3-drops to play. So I will content myself with the Recruit, take full advantage of the Paladin's favorable matchup versus the Warrior. He used his hero ability, so did I, but mine put something on the board. His did not. Demolisher. That is exceptionally good right here. I think I'm actually going to coin the Yeti then that I just drew. Hit him in the face. Noble Sacrifice will do literally nothing. Because it will, well, it might do something. If he Demolisher attacks, goes down to 2 health, is a chance next turn I can play the Raid Leader and the Recruit will then kill the Demolisher. That's the one way the Demolisher, or the coin could, or the Noble Sacrifice could actually have a non-negligible impact on this game. So the Recruit lives for the time being. What does he have for 4 mana? Violet Teacher. Oh, geez. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Someone earlier said Raid Leader's kind of a bad card. Now, true, here a Direwolf Alpha would have just been better. But still, I mean, like I said, bad buffs are better than no buffs. Would you look at this, folks? It's a pretty good turn. Now, he could cleave it up and get right back in it, but the thing is that now I'm going to have time for my crazy endgame to come online a little bit. Dark Fate says, P.S. I like your Twitch title up there, and Fidelius adds, no music, no BS, just Hearthstone and lots of soda. Can't forget the soda and conciliatory snack foods. That is right. You guys know how we do. Alright, so he's going to catch back up with Scarlet Crusader plus Fiery War Axe. Is it time to do the Peacekeeper here? Not really. I don't think there's any reason to Peacekeep. Let's just play Silverhand Knight. Swing for 2. So he could use the Fiery War Axe to kill the Raid Leader. He could use the Scarlet Crusader to kill the Squire. Or if he gets a buff, he could kill the Silverhand Knight, and then the Squire would finish off the Scarlet Crusader. But I've got pretty high health, and I'm not that far behind on cards. I'm actually ahead on cards. Well, 7 to 7, soon to be 8. Yeah, I'm ahead on cards. And I'm actually doing alright here. Okay. Does he have an answer for the Silverhand Knight? It looks like he actually does. Is he going to Whirlwind here or something? Cruel Taskmaster. Oh, I see. Okay. So now I can kill the Raid Leader, and so basically this got this thing that's growing to crazy heights, and I can't kill it at the moment. Wow, Blessing of Kings, you do have a way of showing up at the best times. I could have peace kept that as well, but I think it was much better just to kill it while I had the chance. Alright, this is looking okay. I wish I'd had an extra mana so I could have played the Farseer and healed this, but that's fine enough. Let's see if he has Execute or another Cruel Taskmaster to deal with this, or if he has to throw a minion at it. I do think Raid Leader should be a 2/3 instead of a 2/2, but it's really not that big of a deal. I'm actually quite happy with it. It's gonna play a Mad Bomber, and it does hit my Recruit rather tragically. So do you play the Ogre here? Oh, I think it makes more sense to play more than less. So let's peacekeep the thing, and let's actually play the Farseer. I'm not gonna play the Worgen because the Worgen just dies to the Mad Bomber. I could play this on the Mad Bomber just to cycle it for a card. I think it's actually better than than just sitting on it because I'm really unlikely to get any use out of it anywhere. So I've got a life advantage here. Card-wise, I'm doing okay. 5 to 6. I'm about to draw my next one. He's got a Defender of Argus, which is really unfortunate. He's going to give me a card, and he's going to clear my board. So I don't like this board clearing that he keeps on doing. But at least he's low on cards, and his board's not that impressive. That is the saving grace of the situation. Equality doesn't really help. It makes me not want to play the Ogre, though. So we're going to play the Worgen. I'm going to use my other Peacekeeper, which is risky, but I have Equality, so it's not like a crazy risk. With Equality, I'm okay wasting a Peacekeeper because I can kill whatever he plays. Okay, so I'm still okay on life. 6 cards to 5. Soon to be 7 cards. I'm doing okay on cards. This is a 1-2. It's guaranteed to never be any better than that. He plays Kor'kon Elite, kills my Worgen off before he can do anything terrible. Plays Ventricle Mercenary. I might have to actually use Equality here, but this is at 4 health, which is really frustrating because I can't actually get at it. That's going to probably kill my Ogre, I think. No, Ravenhold Assassin. Okay, so we're going to kill this, play the Assassin, and make a Recruit. So here I'm taking advantage of my high life total to not, to let this Ventricle Mercenary hit me. It's unfortunate that Equality is going to bite this Assassin, but I feel like I'm going to have to do that in order to kill off his stuff. Or I could just trade my Assassin for the Ventricle and fight fair. We'll see. Alright, so he kills it off. Cruel Taskmaster kills off my Recruit. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna have to hang on. I think I'm gonna have to hang on to Equality. I can't race him out. He's at 22 health. I could play the Ogre, I guess, and just hit him down to 15. Let him hit me down to 9 with only 2 cards. Maybe. But why not just kill this, play the Ogre, have a 6-7 versus a 2-2, and see if he can out-top deck me? Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. Mustard Mitt says hello. Hello, Mustard Mitt. Good to see you. We are 8-2. No, sorry, 7-2 with a really terrible deck. Not really terrible. There have been worse decks in the history of Hearthstone. Is it worth it to play a Secret Keeper? Yeah, it is. Because if I play the Secret Keeper, he kills it with the Taskmaster, but then I can use the Recruit to kill the Taskmaster. It's doing something. Alright, so in 2 cards, does he have something that's better than an Ogre? Because if he doesn't, he's in a lot of trouble. Dark Fade says, this guy really studied at Papa University. He refuses to let you keep any creatures. That is true. He's been doing a pretty good job of that. But against, and then Rocky Logo says that everyone should play that way versus Paladin. Yeah, it is probably a smart policy. Alright, we're going to keep playing fair, I think. Let's kill the Cruel Taskmaster up. Kill this. Guardian, Recruit, pass turn. This Equality is a little bit underwhelming. But let's see, he's got, if Execute would kill the Ogre, but then he's got this to deal with. So if he has Execute and a big minion, he can actually be in pretty good shape. Execute the Ogre, axe the Recruit, play big minion, and then I'm in trouble. He's going to ping off the Divine Shield with his face. I'm not sure under what circumstances that would make sense. Ah, Corehound, okay. Alright, is it worth it to Equality, Recruit, kill the Corehound, so I can keep my other stuff? I think so. Great Equality. Wait. Yeah, we can't win. This is 10 damage. We're going to kill the Corehound. Hit him for 9. Boom. Boom, boom. I want you in my room. We can play together. Best friends are forever. We're threatening lethal. Whirlwind would be godlike here. Could ping off the Divine Shield, kill everything else I have, and then if he can play another big minion, he would be in good shape. Shield block to gain some life and draw a card. The card draw is irrelevant. I can still kill him. He's going to cleave, though. That's pretty good. Cleave is not as good as Whirlwind, perhaps, but it's pretty good after Equality. Alright, so now he's actually going to leave us at 17 health. I can hit him for 11. Alright. Swing, 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 Recruit. Notice how annoying these Recruits are? I hate, like, this is actually one of the things, like, I hate the most about Hearthstone, even, like, more than, like, facing Unleash the Hounds, is being a warrior against a Paladin. Like, that particular combination is so frustrating. When you keep armoring up and they keep making recruits in a top deck war, it's really frustrating. So he loses. Mostly, like, my class cards were good and his class cards were good, but really that came down to the hero ability being better for paladins. Tarkavate says, and to think he could have had an Alarmobot instead. Yeah, that Secret Keeper, 1 mana for 1 damage on a Cruel Taskmaster, and redirecting its attack. Really clutch. Glad I drafted that card. Alright, so this is not the worst deck ever. There was something about this draft that it, like, felt terrible as it was happening. I think it was because I was so caught up trying to get 2 drops and wasn't getting any that we all just felt the draft was terrible. But I guess looking at it objectively later on, there's 3 pretty bad cards, a couple of curve issues, but it's not the worst deck in the world. Fidelia says, Priest isn't any better than by the same logic. That's true, but at least the Priest can heal his own minions, which in a top deck war can actually make a pretty big difference. So yes, it's still, I don't like being a Priest versus Paladins either, but it's still better than Warrior because of that fact. Oh god, this is slow. This is real slow. Oh jeez. Alright, Noble Sacrifice. All this really does is it kills a recruit. But I'm going to do it anyway because when you have a slow hand, you've got to do whatever it takes to keep board presence, even if it means going down cards. Let's say well met to each other. South Sea deck, and interesting. So the Noble Sacrifice will actually kill that unless he slow rolls it, which is great. I'm super thrilled that I get to kill the South Sea deck and with a Noble Sacrifice. That's a 1-for-1. Darkface says, you had some bad picks and some weird curve, but you also had a solid endgame and 2 True Slivers. I believe I just have 1 True Sliver. I have a True Sliver and a Consecration and a Blessing of Kings, and that's it for the 4-mana Trinity, even though there's Paladins have this 4-mana block. It's not a Trinity, there's 4 of them. It's True Sliver, Blessing of Kings, Consecration, Hammer of Wrath, but I have 3 of them. Wow, he's going to play Trust the Pirate's Code. Noble Sacrifice still kills the South Sea deckhand, but I got to give him props. It's like the first time I've ever seen this thing this guy do anything, which is remarkable. Let's play the early Peacekeeper. Studying at Papa University. Use your early Peacekeepers. Don't hold out for something better later on. The Peacekeeper will kill the Pirate. After the Pirate kills the Recruit, then the Crusader kills the Peacekeeper. Alright, we're going back and forth here all the time. Is Dread Corsair worth it? I guess so. I'm not going to hold out for the True Sliver. So we're going to let this get killed by the Scarlet Crusader. And, maybe I should have played the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, but that just dies too. Yeah, it's kind of pointless. Oh no, Sanjin, that's not good. That's bad. That's the opposite of good. Now I can't even kill this thing. Oh dear. Oh dear. So we get to do this and this, which is really unimpressive. I'm in a lot of trouble here. This is bad. So I got all the end game, but I can't play any of it. So once he gets board dominance, I'm just in a lot of trouble. Okay, I'd be pretty happy if this died to the Crusader instead of to Blessing of Kings or True Silver Champion. Alright, chooses to do that, and that. Okay, fair enough. So he's got a 3/3, all of his mana, Knife Juggler. Good lord. Recruit. Okay. If the Knife misses my Recruit, I can actually play Sea Giant. Is that better or worse than playing this plus a Recruit or just an Ogre? Well, let's play the Sea Giant. If he, humiliates this, it's a good minion mopper. And if he doesn't have a humility effect, this can kill out the Senjin, and I might be able to catch up on the board very slowly. I can't see the names of the people when I play stream. This is Teal Terror. Wow, that's pretty great. So the Recruit dies, unfortunately. Is he going to throw a bunch of stuff at this Sea Giant to kill it? I wouldn't mind. Looks like he is, actually. And that was his whole turn, just killing my Sea Giant. So I'm actually okay with how that went. That could have been a lot worse. I could play the Ravenholt Assassin here, or I could do the Divine Shield Army. Divine Shield Army is not so great against the Knife Juggler, perhaps, but I'm going to go for it. Sure, he can pop off the Divine Shields, but at least they're still here to trade with his board. And if I can trade with his board, I'll be pretty happy. Teal Terror is this guy's name. I like teal. Teal's a good color. I have respect for teal. Mustard Mitt says Teal Terror is a bottom tier name. No way. It's not nearly as bad as like Tiny Dick or Douche or like some other terrible names we've seen. Teal Terror is okay. It's kind of funny and cutesy. Oh no, Pyromancer, that's bad. Now he plays a spell and everything is terrible. Few people calling for a Blood Knight. Thankfully that didn't happen. Consecration would be pretty great here. I could actually win if I top-decked Consecration. This is all gonna die. He has Consecration. No, 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 no. I'm supposed to get Consecration. Alright, well, the Wild Pyromancer triggers. I wonder why he triggered the Pyromancer. That seems awfully silly. I mean, yes, he got the knife fling out of it, but then everything gets damaged down to 1 health. Kind of weird. Oh, yes, there was another one, Chink94, who actually beat me. That was a sad day in my life. Alright, let's play the Ogre and a Recruit. The Recruit's threatening to kill his stuff. He could, of course, cast a spell that would kill the Recruit, but then the Pyromancer and the guy would die. I could have played the Ravenhold Assassin, but I'd much rather get a little bit of extra board presence with this Recruit. He can get me down to 13 health, but Paladins aren't the greatest at burning out. I'm going to hang on to this Ooze in case he top-decks a True Silver Champion. The longer the game goes, the more that's likely to happen. I'll only play this wasting the Battlecry if I'm desperate. Alright, he's going to just 2 for 1. He's going to 2 for 1 to kill my Ogre, which I'm okay with. So we've got equal cards now. Plays a War Golem. Ouch. Ouch, that definitely hurts. Reckless Rocketeer is not quite reckless enough to kill that thing, but at least I can do Ravenhold Assassin. Swing. And then the Ravenhold Assassin will kill the War Golem, so we'll be trading 7 drops. He'll just get to hit me for 7 first, which is a little bit scary. Does he have a good follow-up to the War Golem? The answer is... does he have a Defender of Argus or something? Is that an Abomination? That is a good follow-up that stops me from killing the War Golem with my Saberhandle Assassin. So I have to use Reckless Rocketeer. Equality is an intriguing possibility. Well, if I equality and I run in, then everything dies, including my Assassin. Is there a way I can get the Assassin to live? Nope. If I kill this with the Assassin... If I kill this with the Assassin will die. That's bad. If I use this to kill this, then my Recruits die. That's bad. I think Equality is a really bad option, but it might be the best one that I have. Okay, so we play Equality. We run a Recruit in there. It explodes, everything dies. Play Reckless Rocketeer. Hit him for 5. Make a Recruit. Pass turn. So he's got a bit of a life lead, but card-wise I'm doing okay. He can, of course, make extra cards with his Recruits. I could have played the Raging Worgen and had it get triggered by the attack. Alright, so there's True Silver. Is he going to go for the face or is he going to go for the Rocketeer? Oh, no, not a Legendary. Ah, jeez. That's bad. This is a Chillwind Yeti that won't quit. He will kill the Reckless Rocketeer. I can't even really deal with the Chillwind Yeti here. So do I put it on this to have it draw me a card every time it attacks? No, we need to get some cards right the F now. Let's do that. Okay, great. For the king. Okay, well, we're going for the burnout victory here. He now has unpleasant options. He can kill the Worgen, which is the more dangerous creature. But then that leaves me with the card drawer, so he has to kill this to stop me from drawing cards. Folks are noting that was a really good Abomination. Yeah, that was a really good Abomination. Because if he hadn't had that, I could have actually hit him in the face with the Assassin. He'd be at 8 health now. And then I could have still killed the thing with Equality. He chooses to let me keep this around. Does he have another way of killing it? That's what I'd like to know. Squire Tammy. Uh-oh, he's got 10 damage. He's got lethal here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright, well, Foul, that's not fair. Summoning Portal Open. Okay, so he's got a bunch of junk. I need Consecration so badly, it's not even funny. Nope. Well, I could still get a Consecration. It's now or never. 1 in 14 chance of getting my Consecration. No! Okay. Well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna kill that. Well, do I go for the face? No, I have to kill the wolf. Gonna kill the old pint size. Heal my own stupid face. Make a Recruit. Pass the turn. I could still win the game if I get a Consecration. He needs a True Silver Champion or another source of 4 damage, like an Argent Commander or a Reckless Rocketeer to win on the spot. But failing that, I could still win if I got a Consecration, because we're equal on life. He's got a Panther. Oh my god, I need Consecration so badly. It hurts. He can do some pretty favorable trades right now. But this guy will die against something probably and pop as a Chillwind Yeti. Oh man, if only I could have hit him with the Ravenhold Assassin just once. Just once. Just once. Dark Fate says, boy, this is tense. Could go either way. It really could. So he finally kills off my card drawer. That Blessing of Wisdom did get me 2 cards, so it was pretty good. But I still haven't gotten Consecration. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to play it down to the wire. He's gonna pop Cairn. Man, that Legendary really helped him out a lot. He can still attack with the Squire and with the 4/4. I mean, he can kill my 3/2, he can kill my 2/3, and then he's just got a bigger board than I do. He actually goes for the face. Interesting choice. Okay. We have here 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. He's got 4, 8, 10, 14, 15 damage. So I need to remove at least 6 points of damage from the table. Boy. Alright. Let's fight fair. I'll kill his biggest thing. I'll kill this with that. Kill this with that. Swing at his face. He's got 8 damage here, so he needs 2 more damage to beat me. That was a pretty good balance, though, between clearing his board and pushing it, so I can get some damage through. So what's his card? If it's 2 damage, he wins. If it's not, he could lose. That is really good. Oh my god, Consecration. Would you just show up already, please? Please, Consecration. I've needed you this whole time. So is he gonna go for the face? He can actually go for the face. That would be pretty smart. I think if he's playing, my board is a little bit better than his. He should go for the face. Hit me down to 2. Force me to come up with a life gain or taunt to not die, because then this thing is stealthed and it'll finish me off. He's not gonna do that. He's gonna fight fair, which is okay. So we're now just in a stone cold top deck war, because basically this 2/1 kills his 4/2. A little bit better. Raid leader. Actually, it's the exact same thing. Damn it. I can leave this recruit alive, I guess. Risky. Very risky business not killing this recruit. Well, gotta take risks. We're gonna hit him in the face for 3. Bring it closer. So now I can use this to kill my raid leader, use this to kill that, make a recruit, and then play a card. So he's a little bit ahead in this war, but if I could just get a Consecration, I'd be fine. So he's not killing me this turn. That's good. He's killing that. What's his top deck? What's his top deck? I still have a Secret Keeper in here, by the way. Dark Iron Dwarf. Well, it's a 4/4, which is pretty good. It's pretty much as good as it needs to be. And I get a Consecration exactly 1 turn too late. Now it's just useless. Should I go for the face? I'm going to go for the face. I think it's worth it. So basically, with this Consecration in my back pocket, he's essentially at 6 health. I think I've already used... Have I used True Silver Champion here? I don't think I have. So if I got True Silver Champion, the healing plus the damage might actually let me win. He is a Core Hound! Oh, no! Oh, no. Not Core Hound. Consecration isn't good enough. Oh, no. I need Sunwalker or I'm screwed. Okay, don't you even tell me that, oh, you said Sunwalker, because I've been asking for a Consecration for 5 gajillion years. So it's actually... doesn't really win me the game, but it does prevent me from dying on the spot. Should I have consecrated there? Oh my god, I probably should have consecrated to kill this recruit. Stop him from picking off the Divine Shield so easily. That was a mistake. I should have consecrated instead of making a recruit. He's got Sword of Justice. Is he going to dare to hit the Sunwalker to pop the Divine Shield off? Is he going to dare? Because he could go down to like 1... He could take me down to 1 health here, actually, with this Core Hound. Quite close. Quite close. He's going to use the Core Hound to kill that. So the Core Hound now dies to Consecration. He now makes a recruit, which will die to Consecration. He's going to use the Dark Iron Dwarf to kill my recruit, because then it'll die to Consecration. He is. Okay, so Consecration clears his board now, which is really good. Chillwind Yeti is a very good follow-up. Okay. This is it. I can get him down to 1 health. He needs something good. He can't just play a vanilla minion anymore, I don't think. Whew. Oh my god. Dark Fate compares this game to a boxing match. Okay, that is A lot of power and toughness thanks to Sword of Justice, but it is still going to let me take him down to 1 health, so I just need a True Silver Champion. I think it's the only thing I have that left. I've used Raid Leader, I've used Reckless Rocketeer, I've used everything except for True Silver Champion. I need True Silver Champion to finish him off. I think that's my only remaining out. He's going to kill the Raid Leader that makes, or the Recruit that makes no difference. What do I got here? I got a Raging Worgen. Okay, well, he's got 3, 5, 7 damage. Do I risk True Silver Champion killing me? That's the question. I don't think so. I think I'm actually more likely to win if I just kill this thing. So now, Raging Worgen can kill off one of these and something else, and hit him in the face. And you can use one of them to kill the Yeti, but then the Raging Worgen plus the Recruit is the kill at that point. Unless, of course, oh, he'll kill the Recruit. Okay, so we're, I think, okay here. I think I made the right call, because True Silver is still in here if I haven't miscounted, so at any point I can get that and be just totally fine. And there was no reason to risk losing. Okay, so as it happens, I could have hit him in the face, and then I'd be winning this turn, but I still feel like I made a pretty fair choice. Alright, let's go ahead and kill this thing. I will hit him for 4 now, because now he's only got 4 damage, and the potential for him to get 6 damage is very small. We flood the board. He now needs a Consecration. A Consecration would actually let him survive for another turn, and then I could still get a True Silver Champion and win. 1 in 6 odds. What did he just draw? He hasn't had any good cards in a long time, actually. He has a Harvest Golem. Oh my god, I'm going to win this game. Well, we all got our money's worth with this match. If you bought front row tickets to the boxing ring, it was a good day to do that. And I get True Silver Champion. Okay. We'll say well played again, because that was a very well played game. And we beat another Paladin, which is cool.